Jose Mourinho eyeing Newcastle job. That is a story being run by the Gazzetta dello Sport and coming in from Italy. And remember, Jose Mourinho is in Italy, and that's where everything is really happening right about now. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. This is the Football News Show. We've gone ahead to start a little bit late, but trust me, you're going to enjoy the marathon. 5 videos with a live stream coming in through later in the day as we discuss what Arsenal is all about and what other Premier League sides might be looking like. Then after, we are going to discuss about Conor Gallagher, one of those people that Chelsea are considering to cash in for in the January transfer window. And lastly, Toni Kroos is set to return to the Germany national team. Having gone ahead to retire, looks like the people at the Germany national side have gone ahead to obviously identify him as one of those players that should come in through and obviously do the needful on the job. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And Rokani David is my name. It's a Wednesday, and yesterday I really had a very bad night. Man United were knocked out of the Champions League and we finished at the bottom of the table. That was really very, very unbecoming. And today Newcastle is really playing against AC Milan, and I think it's the other English team that if at all they beat AC Milan, they'll obviously qualify, yeah, provided PSG doesn't win against Borussia Dortmund. That is it. So we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum, and let's go into eyes. Now, Jose Mourinho is in deep talks with AS Roma over an extension to his contract as a manager, but Newcastle remain fascinated by the 60-year-old. So, AS Roma is really having lots of improvements. You know, he won the Conference League, and he lost to, I think he played in the UEFA Europa League final last season, and he went ahead to obviously lose. He lost to which side? There is a team he lost to, you know. The game ended 1-0, and he lost to that side in there for you. So Jose Mourinho has gone ahead to obviously want to return to the Champions League. And trust me, he's in Italy, but he's not happy because he believes that's not where he's supposed to be. He's not meant to be there. He's supposed to be in the biggest league in the world. And trust me, if at all Newcastle are really eyeing for him and they want to obviously get him as their new manager, Jose Mourinho will always really not accept the new contract extension as a manager of AS Roma. Because when you look at Newcastle, they have a budget, you know, they have a sporting director, and they have everything put in place that can obviously give Jose Mourinho a very working situation. Trust me, his reputation in the game of football has gone ahead to obviously not been felt for the last you can even say for the last decade. Because Jose Mourinho, when he went at Real Madrid, I think that's when everything was started to turn around. At Inter Milan, he was doing well because he won them a Champions League, and I think even won a treble for Inter Milan. But when he came in through at Real Madrid, everything really went ahead to backfire. That is it. So he came to Manchester United, not really. Tottenham Hotspur, not really. The Mourinho that we used to know. And he's now at AS Roma, and it shows you how deep he was going to ahead to obviously fall off as a manager, that no elite club can obviously go for him. But Newcastle are really thinking that Eddie Howe cannot take them levels where they want to be, because there are standards that you have to need to set, and those standards have to be set by a manager who has ever been there and managed players with big egos. And Jose Mourinho as a manager can attract good players because he has done it throughout his career. At Chelsea, you saw the players he attracted, you know. He brought in Shevchenko, came in through Didier Drogba, Michael Essien, Deco, Carvalho, you know. I think even Ashley Cole. So he attracted very many players at Chelsea. At Man United, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Lukaku. He brought in Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez, you know. At Inter Milan, he really brought in Samuel Eto'o, and that sort of Samuel Eto'o really went ahead to intrigue me a lot. That he obviously sent Samuel Eto'o the shirt number 9 and told him, "This is yours and it's waiting for you to come here." And Samuel Eto'o said, "Let me go and obviously play for this guy." And when he played for him. They even won the Champions League, and they went ahead to obviously knock out Barcelona in the semi-final. You remember that very well. So Mourinho has that that urge of attracting good players, and has gone ahead to do it in different teams. But one thing we all have to understand is the game of football has gone ahead to change a lot. That is it. It has gone ahead to change a lot, and you cannot come out and obviously think it's all gonna be one-way traffic for Jose Mourinho. The Premier League is more competitive than it has ever been. You know, if you couldn't obviously run a show at Spurs, how couldn't he run? How is he going to come to run a show at Newcastle? Because for me, if I'm the boss, if I'm the bosses of Newcastle, I would have gone ahead to obviously come out and really kept Eddie Howe at the job, because this is a project of him. He has gone ahead to put in a lot of energy in it. He has gone ahead to build it, and he deserves to be there. You know, he took them to the Champions League ever since, I think, 2003. You know, that Newcastle that had Loharo Bay, they had I think they had Babangida, I think even Babayaro, they had, I think, Pedersen, that Newcastle that had Alan Shearer, that Newcastle that had that Dyers. You remember that Newcastle that went and played the Champions League, you know? So after close to 2 decades, there's going to have to take them back to the Champions League, and you just have to really give that manager a go, because this season has gone ahead to beat Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea at his stadium. I think it's only Liverpool that have gone ahead to obviously beat him. So if it was not injuries, I believe Newcastle would have been performing better even in the Champions League. And if at all they qualify today, then why do you be outward looking for a replacement of Eddie Howe? That is it. But for Jose Mourinho and his agents, he always tells them, this is not where I'm supposed to be. Get me a job at an elite club. I want to be managing an elite club, and I want to go back to the Premier League. That is what is coming in from AS Roma, and Italy reports are confirmed to us that Jose Mourinho is in deep talks with AS Roma, but there is interest coming in from the side of Newcastle. Then we go to some transfer news. Conor Gallagher. Chelsea may have to consider cashing in on Conor Gallagher in January as they struggle to comply with Premier League spending rules. And for Conor Gallagher, he should leave. For me, he should leave that club of Chelsea, because he cannot play as a central attack midfielder. And one of the things that have gone ahead to obviously fail the style of play of Pochettino is playing Conor Gallagher in one of the most important positions of the pitch. They should get in a player. They should get in a player in the caliber of James Maddison, Kevin De Bruyne, Martin Odegaard, name it. So Chelsea should look out for a player who can obviously do that. And with them not being able to spend as they're supposed to spend, Conor Gallagher is one of those that they are looking to obviously let go. And remember, I think it was West Ham that went ahead to put in a 40 million bid in the summer, and it was rejected. And if at all I was Chelsea, I would have gone ahead to accept it, because all what they had to do was simple. They needed to see to it that they get in this guy, Conor Gallagher, right? They get him out. After getting him out, they use that money to bring in another player that can obviously do that. Because you cannot tell me that in the entire top 6 leagues of Europe, you cannot get a central attack midfielder. Trust me, a central attack midfielder is there, and that's what Pochettino should look for. Even though Romeo Lavia comes in through and Enzo Fernandez plays as a central attack midfielder, I think the best attributes of Enzo Fernandez will obviously be showcased, especially when he's played in either in the number 8 position or a number 6 position, playing the double pivot. That's where you can get the best of Enzo Fernandez. But playing him ahead of Romeo Lavia and Caicedo, I think it won't work out for the club of Chelsea. And that is one of the most important things, that Chelsea aren't really creating clinical chances. I know they've gone ahead to obviously create very many chances in the final third, but imagine Chelsea with an Odegaard or a James Maddison playing in the middle of the park behind either Nkunku or Ahmad Broja or Nicholas Jackson. you can even imagine. Now, Germany is going to host the Euros of 2024, and they're going to have to have a very bad preparation towards that. And as it stands, it's obviously one of those moments that will never really allow them to set, especially as the Football Federation of Germany, and they're looking at everything that can obviously take them to where they deserve to be. Now, they've gone ahead to resort to bringing on other players that have gone ahead to obviously retire from international football, and it looks like his return is being considered. And we've been told by George Sipicon that Germany want Toni Kroos to return and play in the Euros of 2024. They have made contact through intermediaries and asked if he would be willing to return. However, Kroos's mind is made up. His return is almost impossible at this stage. So, this will be a very huge backslide for the Germany national team, because Germany has very many good players. You know, Joshua Kimmich, Goretzka, Ilkay Gundogan, you know, in that midfield area. You know, Musiala. It's all about the manager to find means of how making this team click, because Germany has good players. They have good players, but how can this manager get a team out of those good players? That is the most important bit of it. And here we come when Toni Kroos doesn't want to obviously return to the national team, and it will be very naive of Toni Kroos to return to the national team, because all what he did it, and he's not needed. He's not needed because they're really having good midfielders, and the guy is really in his evening of his career. And why do you get him here? You know, he downed the tools, he hanged up boots at the national team. Let him really rest, and don't really put him in this bullshit. Just let him do the needful, and obviously see to it that obviously gets to where he wants to be. So thank you very much for watching. To tell me your thoughts about Jose Mourinho eyeing Newcastle job, I welcome in the comment section. But remember, he's also hunting to go to the Brazilian national team, you know, so he's really pushing for 2 jobs. Let's see which one he's gonna get. And what do you make about Conor Gallagher? Do you think Chelsea should cash in for Conor Gallagher in the January transfer window to obviously see themselves not bleaching the Premier League transfer rules? And lastly, what do you make about Toni Kroos? Would you give him advice to return to the national team, or he shouldn't really return? Rokani David is my name. You can as well call me RD. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I sign out for now. See you later, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. This is the Rokani Media Football. First video of the day, and more is still happening in your vicinity. Don't forget to subscribe. We know the target, 20,000 subscribers before the end of this month. I'm out.